Sentenced to be a Hero, episode 2. Last episode, we found out a little bit about the world, that the highest sentence you can get is to be a hero, which means you are on the front line, you are going to die, they are going to take your body back and going to revive you to then send back to the front line. That seems to be the idea. We found out about the world. There are fairies, quote unquote, which are like monsters. There are demon lords, which have like a blight that transforms everything that it hits into some kind of monster. We have goddesses, which are some ancient kind of weapon against demon lords specifically, supposedly at least, that are in the form of little girls for some reason. We know our main character who got sentenced to be a hero because he killed a goddess, and he did exactly do that. He killed a goddess. However, it was more a mercy killing, similar to like a zombie apocalypse. If you get bitten, sure, you can leave them alive and let them turn into zombie, but it's probably better to let them die as a human. In this case, the same. And we found out that someone seemingly was responsible for the goddess that our main character was responsible for turning, or better said, to be in a position where that can happen. So I am assuming we are going to try to find out who that was, and try to get him justice.
見つけ出す。俺と俺の聖騎士団。そしてセネルバをはめた奴らを見つけ出して絶対に殺してやる。
Very solid idea. Now, another part, we have a friend, quote unquote. We have someone else who also sentenced to be a hero, who's a thief that is a little bit suspect. So this is the new goddess.
ベネティムという軟弱そうな男からあなたを起こすように言われました。感謝し褒めたたえなさい。
すぐに行くと伝えてくれ。
それはできません。目を離すともう一度眠るでしょ。
ああ。
正直ならば良いという問題ではありません。
どうしてだ。
何がです？
どうしてまだいる。俺たちのことは聞いたはずだ。
勇者刑に処された者は皆大罪を犯したのだと。そしてあなたの過去についても。
だったら我が
騎士、何か理由があったのですよね。
どんな理由があろうと俺は女神を殺した。それが事実だ。女神が死ぬ以外にも双方が契約を破棄すればなかったことにできる。さっさと。
嫌です。
何？
我が騎士はあなただと言ったはずです。
Okay.
ザイロ君、起きてますか？すごく大変です。
ベネティム、いきなり大声はやめろ。殺すぞ。
So we did not really get much information about him. So this is the new goddess that a thief boy stole. Again, he's very suspect. He was able to infiltrate the transport, steal her. He also has a thunder staff, which I assume he also stole at some point. Then, while we had the whole fight last episode, he went into the camp and stole stuff as well. And surprise, surprise, he stole the exact thing we needed to win. Now, we had some questionable stuff at the end of the last episode where our main character got more or less chastised for killing the demon lord unprompted. without order. It's like, okay. Now here Xanatim, I'm assuming that is the guy we talked to last episode. That is more or less like a commander. He more or less commands everyone where to go, gives them information about the battlefield. We don't really know much about him. I'm assuming he's also a hero.
残念ながらザイロ君に殺される前に私も死ぬかもしれませんね。
Seems like it.
次の任務らしいですよ。
So he's saying, seems like we have a new mission. So assume he's also a hero. Okay.
次回
Now, another part, we know his crime, killing a goddess. I can understand if you did not know the behind the scenes that you would sentence him to be a hero. What did the thief boy do to be sentenced to be a hero? And what did this guy do? That is, you know, I would like to know. I am assuming not everyone got sentenced wrongly, quotation wrongly, to be a hero, because he technically he did kill a goddess, even though it was for the best, because a goddess being turned into demon lord would be probably very dangerous, but
我々は使い捨ての勇者ですから、まあできれば死にたくはないので、詳細について話し合いましょう。
くそ誰が
now I assume she can't hear this.
我が騎士行きますよ。私の力が必要でしょ。何事ですか。
達也と平家だ。
達也陛下。
Hmm?
俺と同じ勇者だ。
Oh, okay. We get to see more heroes, quote unquote. I really like that this show just takes words that we have an idea for and just flips them. Fairies. They're not fairies, they're monsters, but we call them fairies, heroes. The guy that is helping, you know, the pinnacle of humanity. No, they're criminals. They are going to be used. They are, so you can call them slaves, essentially. Goddess. Oh, you know, like a deity. No, they are weapons. I like that concept. It is a nice change. Now, maybe there's a reason why they are called this way. There could be, because, as example, the goddess is a weapon against demon lords, but an ancient weapon that was made some time ago. Then the question is, was there a civilization that was highly advanced before this civilization? Why are they not around anymore? Or what really is the point? Where are these goddesses coming from? There has to be some way. Is the same with the hero system. I'm assuming that these heroes in an earlier civilization, they were the, you know, the pinnacle of humanity, the ones that rescue humanity, that are seen as, you know, the heroes like we would see them. However, with time, it flipped. It would also make sense why they are essentially immortal. Because if you have someone who you see as a real hero, who's going to lead you to victory, you don't want them to die. Makes sense. Maybe it's like that is what more or less turned into demon lords in the end. Is that a tank? That's a tank, isn't it? It looks like a tank. Looks like a small tank. May also be a little bit in the distance. But I feel like the animal would be a lot larger.
ザイロ、川が凍ってます。こんな大きな川も凍るんですね。ほら、ザイロも一緒に見ましょう。ほら、ほらほら。
So she's happy. She's just a bundle of energy. Who are you? You are not the thief boy.
あちらを見てください。
Was the thief boy
どう
not
ぞ
blonde?
女神13号の輸送任務は中断。新たにゼワンガンコードを攻略を命ず。
So that is also okay. We got told a second ago that the pact can be rescinded if both parties agree or if one of them dies. So what if the hero dies? The hero can be brought back to life. Is the pact gone?
かの地も魔王現象に侵食されたのですか。
第4次魔王討伐魔王現象1号上ばみの出現から各地の森はねじれ土地は腐る一方です。この20年で人類は生息域の半分を喪失しました。
20 years, half has been lost, huh? Again, if I remember correctly, the goddesses were made to fight the demon, or maybe the demon king. This also, the whole concept reminds me a little bit of Command and Conquer, Tiberian Wars, because there the Tiberian would take over like a lot of the planet. This feels a little bit similar.
これ以上の被害は食い止めねばなりません。すでに勇者部隊
I do wonder, is this advanced machinery or is this simple machinery? There's a lot of stuff we are still not knowing. We know they have like thunder cannons, which feel magical, but feel somewhat primitive. Because they will just launch a ball of thunder energy at enemies. It feels like.
はゼワンガンに向かわせました。馬ならすぐに合流できるでしょう。
急ぎ向かいます。
わせました。馬ならすぐに合流できるでしょう。
So she was the commander
急ぎ向かいま
from
す。
last
お願い
episode.
しますよ。ああ、そういえば、どこかでマーレン大司祭に会うことがあれば、よろしくお伝えください。
It feels like a death sentence.
そういえばあのドッタとかいう盗人が
Oh, I was wondering, is he around? Seemingly not. We have like 5 or 6 people in this group.
いませんね。
ドッタは修理場ですよ。
どうせザイロに殴られたのが原因であろう。まったく世の配下ならば行動には気をつけよう。
Hmm?
陛下のおっしゃる通りで
Right, he did say Majesty. It feels like we are going to get the answer, but was he a king at some point? Which would mean that kings can even be sentenced to be a hero, which is
陛
insane.
下とはどのような意味ですか？
そのまんまだ。ノルガイは自分のことを連合王国の国王
Oh,
だと
okay.
真剣に思い込んでいる。
え
王女を簒奪した奴らに大規模なテロ行為を起こして勇者刑に処された元テロリストだ。
Hmm. So he wanted to overthrow the government. Okay. From what I have seen, it feels like that would have been a good idea. Because as these stories go, there is most likely someone in the government working with the demons or, you know, trying to further the demons for some reason, maybe to grasp power. It always is in the similar vein. It would also explain why our main character got sacrificed, because he would be too strong. He already defeated a demon lord. Or demon beast, I don't really remember what exactly their names was.
ではあちらの方は？
達也だ。罪状は知らないが、誰よりも長く勇者部隊に所属している。
He looks a little bit loopy. He looks like he does not have, you know, he doesn't have everything in his head right. I also was like, is this a miner? You know, it looks like a mining helm,
知らない
but
が
that looks like a staff.
誰よりも長く勇者部隊に所属している。
Oh no, it's an axe.
ずいぶんぼんやりしているのですね。
勇者は蘇生のたびに自我や記憶も失う。
している
Oh
の
right,
ですね
right.
勇者は蘇生のたびに
This is what they
自我
talked
や記憶
about. They lose some memories and stuff every time they get resurrected. How much? This also reminds me a bit of Database, Log Horizon. You know, similar idea. Question is how much. I assume we don't really have much, you know, going on. I'm assuming he never died. I also assume that his sentence is not as long.
記憶も失うからな。俺らも下手すればああなる。たく、どこまでもクソみてえな刑罰だよ。
I mean, at least you are alive, so you can find out who is responsible for the whole setup. And again, the question is, if he dies, is the pact still intact? Or is the pact gone because he's dead? Or is it because he can be revived, he doesn't really count as dead? So, we didn't get any info about you?
いや
Oh, we only have
素
four,
晴らし
okay.
い歓迎ぶりですね。
行くぞ。
ずいぶん活気のない町なのですね。
このままでは魔王現象に飲み込まれてしまいますからね。
ここも長くは持ちません。
本当にどうにもならないのですか？
残念ながら軍部としての判断は
本来なら
持ちません。としての判断は
本来ならば皆さんは避難すべきなんですけど。
Okay, why are we not doing that?
待ってる人でもいるんですかね。
Oh. Who's waiting? Are the military guys waiting for someone or the village?
少し聞きたい。
あんた勇者かい？
そう警戒するなって。行動の制圧任務で来たんだ。掘削に使う道具があれば貸してくれねえ。
今さら何なの？もう遅いのよ。なんでもっと早く。
I'm assuming her husband or son died. But if it's too late, then just give him all the tools. Who cares? Right?
あの
Why is there so many blue eyes?
なんだ、見せ物じゃねえぞ。
行動あっち。
Thank you, I guess.
お父さんが帰ってこないの。私の誕生日帰ってくるって言ったのに。
What really happens to humans? We know animals turn into monsters. I assume humans as well. And there's a difference. It seems like the monsters are in front of the blight.
そんな目で見るんじゃねえよ。
ゼワンガン坑道では船員の触媒となる良質な鉄が多く取れるため、バークル開拓公社や軍が多額の資金を使う良質な
Too fast, too fast. Come on.
ゼワンガン坑道
Seven gun tunnels produce high grade iron ore, which is a catalyst. Okay, for sacred seals. Development Corporation and the
開拓公社や軍
military.
が多額の資金をつぎ込んでいたみたいです。まあ、その行動がフェアリー化したのは
What?
込んでいたみたいです。
I thought fairies were monsters. The entire tunnel has turned into a fairy? So fairy is not a monster, it's like an area that is maybe taken by the blight?
その行動がフェアリー化したのはなんとも皮肉な話ですが。
へえ、我が騎士、船員とは何なのですか？
神殿の奴らが言うには神が人類に与えた英知だとよ。もっとも俺が今の体で使えるのは2つだけだがな。
ノルガユ陛下の得意分野ですね。陛下は数人がかりのノルガユ陛下の得意分野ですね。陛下は数人がかりの調律もたった一人でこなしてしまう天才ですから。
女神よ。
調律も
There's so much going on. It's a genius who can perform alone a tuning.
たった一人でこなしてしまう天才です
A
から。
tuning.
女神よ。物体に刻んだ聖印は太陽の光を動力源に人間の意志と生命力を火種にして起動するのです。その効果は様々で稲妻を放ち大地を砕き熱を放つ。
Okay. I have to go back. So using sunlight as the energy for the sacred seals inscribed upon objects and activate them with human will. Using sunlight as the energy. So what I assume it means, you use the sunlight to inscribe the seals, and then a human can use his will and life force as a spark to activate it.
熱を放つ。
But do you need sunlight?
すごいですね、ザイロ。
でも船員だけじゃ敵は倒せね
1ヶ月ほど前、甲府たちがフェアリー化して無差別
Miners who turned into fairies.
に人を
So fairies is just an overall
襲い始めたそうです。
for
え。
bad.
魔王現象か。
ええ、詳細は不明ですが、51号ロートスと名付けられたそうです。
Named number 51 Lotus. A demon
不明
lord?
です。
魔王
1号するための直
Demon
通経
blood
路の掘削ですね。ムは聖騎士団が突入するための直通経路の掘削ですね。ですが非常に残念ながら私は指揮官として町に残らねばなりません。
Sure.
あ
Hmm?
てめえふざけんな。
さあ皆さんはどうぞ中へ。
I mean, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. So we dig the tunnel to defeat this demon blight. Now, they gave the demon blights a number
こうして追ってんのは
and name.
俺たちの墓穴かもな。
世が聖印を刻んでやったのにその程度か。急ぎ掘り進めよ。
十分急いでるよ。あ
苦労しているようですね、ザイロ。
You are zero help. Come on.
でしたら私と交代してはいかがですか？
ダメだ。女神の体力は無駄に消費できね
しかし私はまだ何もしていません。
え。あ
このままでは褒めてもらえないではないですか。
いいからおとなしくしてろ。
This is also something. The goddesses want to be praised. You know, they want to be more or less treated like children, head pets. You're good. You did a good job. You know, encouragement, praise. They want to be doted on. And, you know, they want to do something that is going to give them that. Now we know if they use too much energy, they get weak and they can start to turn. So we have to be careful.
どうやら作業は真面目に遂行しているようだな。ザイロ・フォルバーツ。
Nice. You can all help, right?
そりゃ真面目にやらなきゃ死ぬからな。
女神様、我らの陣営で休息なさってはいかがですか？
いいえ、我が騎士の働きを見守らねば。女神ですから。
ですが、
女神は我らとの最前線をご所望なのだ。よって王としてお前の訴えは退ける。
ザイロ、この男は蘇生による影響か。
もともとだ。
そうか。
He has always been like this. Meaning he potentially knew him before?
ドッタルズラスが女神様を盗んだ件は聞いた。あの時なぜ説明しなかった？
言ったら信じてたか？
No.
第一、そんな暇もなかった。
次からは説明しろ。同じ作戦に従事する者の義務だ。
よく言うぜ。こんな任務を命じておきながらよ。
何？
フェアリー化した鉱山なんざ基本的には放っておけばいい。冬に備える時期にやることじゃねえ。
何が言いたい？
軍部か神殿かは知らねえが、どうせ無意味な任務なんだろ。目的は何だ？俺たちへの嫌がらせだけじゃないとすれば。テオリッタを何かに使うつもりか？あ？
So I am pretty sure the commander, the female commander, doesn't know anything. She's more or less a nobody. However, I feel like he's correct. He has the knowledge. He was someone who his whole group was seen as a little bit problematic because they were too gung-ho. And, you know, they were seemingly... They didn't really listen to commands that much. But he has the experience. And he's like, hey, this doesn't really make sense. Even if he cleans this up for what reason, instead of just leaving it buried. Which makes sense. So his hunch is that someone wants to get rid of the goddess. Or do something to the goddess. Which does line up with his previous experience. Now, this could also be, his whole idea could be marred by his experience, and there's nothing really going on for the goddess. Maybe someone wants to get rid of him, because he's like a thorn in their side. Because if they revive him a couple times, his memory is going to disappear, his personality, and then he could behave like a good little hero that just does his job. But at the moment, he's dangerous. Again, she probably doesn't know anything. The blonde guy, maybe. I also don't know what the whole plan is. They gave the Blight a name, so they assume there's maybe a Demon Lord. Maybe it's like the Blight only appears where a Demon Lord is, which could be the case. What is the point? You were unable to defeat the other Demon Lord and you had the whole army. Now you are like 4 dudes. Even if you have like 100 dudes, you are still weaker than the army you had last time. With like ballista and cannons and spears and a whole defensive position. And you lost. What is your idea? Go in there, defeat whatever there is. Also, are they immune to the Blight? Wouldn't they just turn into monsters as soon as they touch the Blight? I'm assuming the heroes do not. I assume they are more or less immune. Does they have little globes as their tail? That's a fucking globe. It looks like a globe. This voice actor. Was it Kirito? No. But I feel like I know this one. Could be wrong though. Did we see anything? So that is a weak point, I guess. Okay, glowy big point. Okay. I see a little bit the dynamic. He's like the berserker dude who's just fighting. We have our MC, whose name I don't know for some reason. He's like the middle part. He's smart, you know, has the experience. He's good at fighting, but he's like in the middle of everything. Meanwhile, King, or Majesty, he is the support type. He's making all these little sigils so we can use them.
さすがは我が精鋭よ。
援護の必要もなかったが、そろそろ休ませた方がいいかもな。
What the This dude is so gone.
侵食されている箇所もあるにせよ、地表はまだ大丈夫そうであるな。ここを聖騎士団の前線基地とするぞ。設営を開始せよ。
I feel like that is not a good choice. However, okay, we make the base. Tetsuya is gone. He's chilling. He did his job. Those two now are the only ones that make the base. She just wants to be helpful. The worst part is, if we follow normal anime logic, she's going to die at the end, isn't she? Let's hope I'm wrong. Let's hope I'm wrong. I do like how happy bouncy she is.
落ち着け。
この棒はどこに立てればいいですか？あ、我が騎士、侵食がさっきより大きくなっています。
そこで待ってろ。
This is also one part, just a side tangent. The first episode naturally was pretty high quality. The question was, is it going to keep up the quality? And we will see in the next couple episodes. There are scenes here that are, you know, this seems pretty high quality. I like the bouncy, I like the movement. Naturally, this is more simple. However, his movement is very fluid. It feels like a different technique.
あの辺まで大股3歩分ずつ等間隔に杭を打ってくれ。
Wow. We are using the measurements of 3 large steps. Your large steps are not her large steps. So
杭に縄を張って全員の防壁にする。
さあ、見てなさい。このように、あとは任せておくがいいでしょう。終わったらたっぷりとねぎらうのですよ。
What did you
とり
expect?
あえず任せる。怪我だけはするなよ。
ザイロは他に。
Again.
怪我だけはするなよ。
ザイロは他に何を？
補給物資の準備だ。後から来る聖騎士団のために配備しておく必要。なんだ。
A chest? Is Dotto here?
我ながら見事な出来よ。
Okay, it's not.
すごいですね。
What is that?
とても素敵です。
Oh, a defensive. Lethal execution device designed to repel anyone who approaches Keller. I was like, this looks like a chest. This looks like there's loot inside, there's a keyhole. You open it, you get a big sword. You know, this looks like a good endgame chest.
我ながら見事な出来よ。
But no, it's a trap. Which does make
す
sense.
ごいですね。とても素敵です。
I don't know how interested monsters are or fairies in chess, but
不用意な接近者を退ける殺戮処刑装置、名付けてゾリンブルコーフ。愚者の審判という意味だ。
uh-oh.
で、その罠を解除するには
慎重に確認すれば攻撃を誘発する地面とそうでない地面があるのがわかるだろう。だがそれこそがおとり。容器本体に触れた愚か者は裁きの炎に焼かれる。
You can't disarm it, can you?
のだ。解除するにはこの鍵を使って。何を？無礼だぞ。
攻略部隊を全滅させたいのか。最低限のものだけ残してあとは撤去だ。
貴様ら世に
勇者とは変わった方々。
I mean, it was his big magnum opus, you know? I would have liked Dotto to be here, and he's like, there's a chest, and tries to open it and nearly die.
なのですね。
Some mushrooms, some meat, that's all. Fair enough.
くそ、火力が足りねえな。
世に任せよ。
Oh, for fuck's sake. He's like, oh, I'm gonna help. You are not helping. You are helping less than the god.
もっと強火の方が良いか。
いや、弱火で頼む。
What are you doing? Is that a meatball? Oh no. Is she making rice ball? Oh, what are you doing?
さっきよりも綺麗にできました。もう一ついかがですか、我が騎士。
ああ。
美味しい
It
で
is
し
a
ょ。
rice ball.
これで私も料理というものを習得し
Yep, you mastered the skill of
まし
cooking.
た。
Definitely.
感謝して褒め
どっ
る方は
たかベネティン
増やします。
がいればもう少しマシ。
So, is this meat? Is this some of the burned meat? Or is this stone? I feel like this could be stone. It could be
なんだ
either.
かな。
兵糧の予算は正しく分配されとるのか。財政大臣を追及せねばならん。
賛成だ。この作戦が終わったらな。
作戦の進行状況は順調ですよね、ザイロ。
あ？
魔王もかなり近いのではありませんか。
多分な。
この私の恩情あればこそと言っていいでしょう。
I mean, I don't know. She's like, you take a breath, you breathe, you get some oxygen, and she's like, yeah, it's all thanks to me that you are able to breathe and oxygen is in the air. She takes credit for everything.
聖騎士団の者たちもきっと私に感謝しますよね。
ああ、少しはされるかもな。
Now I do wonder, she wants to be doted on. She wants to be, get head pats, be told she's amazing and stuff. Does it have to be the knight? Does he have to be the one to do that? Or can anyone? Because this seems to be her whole being. Additionally, does she eat? He's playing around with a ball.
いっそ私たちで魔王を倒してしまうというの
Last time he got into so much trouble doing that.
はいかがでしょう。
アホか。やりたくねえし、そもそも命令違反だ。
しかしですね、やはり女神として。
ダメだ。だったら聖騎士団といろ。
またそれですか。我が騎士ザイロ、もっと私を必要としなさい。あなたに私こそ思考の女神だという。
Okay.
言わせなくては気が済みません。
Flames in her eye. So this is what she really wants to be, the supreme goddess?
ザイロ
Is there like a ranking between the goddesses?
本体からの通信だ。
Let me guess, they can't reach. They have to do something else.
これは救難信号か。
団長、またします。
銃撃用意。
So now they already told us that miners turned into fairies. Now we see what they turn into.
全体前へ。
Okay.
思ったより劣勢だな。
They're not even fighting a demon lord. They're fighting like normal monsters. How do they expect to defeat a demon lord alone? What is the whole plan? Is there like weaponry that is in the back line that can do damage? Is there a reason why these guys suck?
火星に。
我が騎士、あのフェアリーは元は人間なのですよね。
ああ、もうノッカーだから。
Knockers. Okay, so they have specific names. Okay.
攻撃を続けろ。
気が進まねえがやるしかねえ。聖騎士団がやられると俺たちの頭も吹っ飛ぶ。命令しろ聖騎士団長。
Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Be like, yo, I'm going to command you. It is my idea. It was my idea. I'm the one that did it. Take all the glory, but don't be stupid. Don't be prideful. You are unable to deal with this. Come on. Be smart.
サイロフォルバーツ。
Be smart.
攻撃を頼む。
Very good. Very good.
我が王国の精鋭たちよ、フェアリーと化した国民に安らかな眠りをもたらすのだ。
俺たちも。
この方たちはもう元には戻らないのですか。
は？
町にはまだ彼らの帰りを待つ人々が。
ああなっちまったらもうどうしようもねえな。せめて楽に終わらせてやる。
今だ攻勢。
So the question is that really true? Can you turn them back? Is there a way? Is there even research being done in the way? Because sometimes it feels like they would not even touch that subject. Maybe it's not even, they don't really want to. because they lose more and more ground. If they are able to turn them back, that would mean more people in the little ground they have left. It would also mean more soldiers, not that they are very useful. Which brings me, do these soldiers have like a special ability? We know they have some special equipment. She was using her spear and everything exploded. Do we have more of that? By the way, we skipped the fight. Which, okay. We got to see some of the fight.
まさか人間がフェアリーになるなんて。
なんだ。おい、大丈夫か。おい。
声が嫌だ。みんな声で。
脱出に間に合わなかった労働者が数十名取り残されているようだ。
最悪だな。
彼らは我が王家のために尽くした忠臣である。何としても救うべし。
無理だ。民間人の救出は当初の目的と異なる。
I would have assumed she would be like, shut up, hero. He's willing to listen to him?
そのために聖騎士団に損害が出ては意味がない。ザイル・ホルバーツ、参考までに尋ねる。我々が救出作戦に踏み切った場合、どの程度の損害が予想される？
あんたも微妙な立場ってわけか。かなりの損害を覚悟しろ。民間人を防衛しながら狭い行動を抜けるとなる。
キリア団長、
I don't know who you are, but I feel like you're an asshole. Okay, I do like that she comes around, she's coming around, she's like, okay. Because she knows him, she knows his legacy, he has experience. He led a whole night order. He was successful. He was a little bit brash, he was a little bit, you know, against the rules, but use the experience. There's no reason not to.
ですが、この男の意見を確認する必要がありますか？ちょうどいい。
He's a church guy. Let's scorch terrain here and block off the entire tunnel. So nuke the whole area.
設置より行動ごと封鎖する。それがガルトゥイルからの指示でしょ
う。分かっている。
我が国の民を見捨てる気か。貴様らこの世に対し反逆するというのか。
ひどいですね。ノルガユ・センリッチ、賢人ホルドーの最後の弟子。あの学士会に誉れ高き英才の末路がこれとは。
反逆者どもめ。
Last disciple of Sage Hordu. So that is why he is able to make the tuning alone.
誉れ高き英才の末路がこれとは。
反逆者どもめ。亡命によって一人残らず処断する。
落ち着け兵か。歯向かえば首の船員で殺されるぞ。
ザイロ、貴様も裏切るのか。
I mean, he can't do anything. He has no rights. He can't. He can go in, try to rescue all the miners, sure, but he would be going against his command. He would be punished again. So he can't really do much.
俺たちだけで助けに行く。
何？
もう前線基地の設営は終わった。聖騎士団は作戦通りやればいい。脱出が間に合わなきゃ勝手に生き埋めにしろ。失敗しても勇者が死ぬだけだ。
ザイロ、それでこそ我が騎士です。聖騎士団の皆さんもよろしいですね。救出に成功した暁にはあなたたち
So, okay, it seems like other people can praise her too. Problem is, I feel like you are not part of the equation. Just feels like you are not supposed to be there.
たちも私たちよ。
テオリッタは預ける。
Yeah.
当然だ。女神を生き埋めにできるか。
待ちなさい我が騎士。私たちはいついかなる時も。
テオリッタ様。
ザイロ騙しましたね。万死に値しますよ。
どいつもこいつも勝手なことばかり言いやがって。本音を言えば民間人なんざどうでもいい。でもな、俺は腹が立ってんだ。クソみてえな作戦を立てた司令部に俺が死ぬことを喜ぶ連中にどの道墓穴を掘ってんだ。行けるとこまで行ってやるよ。
Okay, okay. I do wonder. So it seems like the goddess herself can't really do much. She has to invoke her power. So they could just forcefully remove her from his side. I'm assuming though he can call on her power even if they are separated. Assuming. Interesting. So he is still pretty pissed. This guy, we have no idea where he went. We saw some of the other heroes, which is interesting. We saw someone who is more or less gone. He got revived so many times that his whole being, all his memories are gone. We have Mr. King Boy, who is very good at making sacred seals. We have the Knight Commander, who slowly but surely came around. She seems to be able to be some kind of ally. Now, we clearly have someone who is more than happy to see the heroes die. That or the Scorched Terrain seal, which I assume is similar to the bomb they had last episode, maybe it's even the same, which just nukes the whole area. So that is why the goddess can't really go along. It could also be something that just makes like a natural disaster. We saw a little bit. Overall, because this is essentially, if you can call that the third episode, because the first one was twice as long. It is very interesting. So the whole concept. There's a lot of stuff we still have to uncover. Example, I'm assuming this guy is a church dude. Because he doesn't have armor. He has this little emblem on his, necklace. And he seems to have a different idea than the Knight Order have. And he's very happy to see him die. He was the one who was very happy to hear right around here. I feel like there is still so much I would like to know. I do like her, Terrietta, right? She's very bubbly, very, very happy, little, more or less a mascot. She just wants to be praised. She wants to be, told that she did good. Don't really know much about the other heroes. We know his background. We don't know Tatsuya's background, Mr. I'm crazy. And I have no idea what the plan was. The plan was that they fight the Demon Lord for some reason, even though they are unable. I would like to know how many Demon Lords did they defeat. We know our Xylo defeated one Demon Lord with his Knight group and a second Demon Lord as a hero. So here already has 2, at least. And I feel like these Knights have not defeated any Demon Lords at all. Gonna be interesting. Next week. I hope it is not going to be delayed again. I don't know why it was delayed. There was also some, discussion about censorship and so on. No idea about that. So, seemed fine so far. Yeah, definitely looking forward to next week.